Hello everybody and welcome back. And if this is your first time here, well, I highly suggest you check out part 1 as I do explain what the G1 Climax is and what a round robin tournament is, and I preview all the participants from Block A. Now in this video, we'll be previewing the participants from Block B, and before I get into it, I will say it seems like most of these wrestlers are on the younger side, so I'm not exactly sure how long these descriptions will be. Thank you all for watching, and please enjoy. To kick off Block B, we have El Phantasmo. Phantasmo is entering his third consecutive G1. He began his career wrestling in 2005 in Extreme Canadian Championship Wrestling, where he won their top title on 3 separate occasions. After 12 years in ECCW and a brief stint in Rev Pro, Phantasmo joined New Japan in 2019. In doing so, he was announced as the newest member of Bullet Club and shortly won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag titles with fellow Bullet Club member Taiji Ishimori. Throughout the rest of Phantasmo's career in the Junior Heavyweight division, he won the Junior Heavyweight Tag titles 2 more times with Ishimori and won the Super J Cup in 2019 and 2020. Phantasmo would begin to compete in the Heavyweight division of New Japan in 2022. In 2023, friction began between Phantasmo and Bullet Club's new leader David Finlay. This all concluded after Bullet Club lost a tag match at Sakura Genesis to the Guerrillas of Destiny. Post-match, Phantasmo was beat down by Bullet Club members Finlay, Gedo, Kenta, and longtime partner Ishimori. At the end of the G1 that year, Phantasmo was invited to the Guerrillas of Destiny stable, which he ended up joining. As part of GOD, Phantasmo and Hikuleo won the IWGP tag titles once and won the Strong Openweight tag titles twice. Now that members of GOD have left New Japan, Phantasmo is off on his own. He has proven himself as a singles star before, and it should be fun to see him in singles competition again in the G1. Next up, we have Hiroki Goto. The 45-year-old is participating in his 17th consecutive G1 Climax, and he even won the whole thing in 2008. He is another man on this list with loads of accomplishments and loads of history in the wrestling business. Goto made his debut for New Japan in 2003. After 2 years in New Japan, he won his first title teaming with Minoru as they won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag titles. After Goto went on a brief excursion to TNA, he then returned to New Japan in 2007, joining the stable Rise, which was led by Shinsuke Nakamura. As a part of the stable is when Goto went on to win the G1, where he even got a win over Nakamura. Unfortunately for Goto, he wasn't able to win any singles gold until 2012. In between there though, he did win the New Japan Cup on 3 separate occasions. Goto would eventually get singles gold when he won the IWGP Intercontinental title, defeating Yujiro Takahashi. Then in 2016, Goto would win the title a second time, and he also had a long outstanding feud with Katsuyori Shibata. Also in 2016, Goto got a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight title against Okada. Unfortunately for him though, he did lose. Okada wanted him to join his stable, but Goto refused. Eventually, Goto would agree to join Chaos stable after Okada would save him from a beatdown by LIJ. As a part of Chaos, Goto would win the Never Openweight title 5 times, the IWGP tag titles 4 more times, the Never Openweight 6-man titles twice, and the New Japan Strong Openweight tag titles once. He also won the World Tag League 5 times, including 3 times as a part of Chaos with Yoshihashi. Goto already has a long list of accomplishments and is looking to add more to that with another G1 Climax victory. Next up, we have Yota Tsuji. Tsuji is another wrestler who has only been around for about 5 years and will be participating in his 2nd consecutive G1. Tsuji signed with New Japan in 2017 and made his debut in 2018. After a few years, Tsuji went on an excursion where he wrestled matches in both Rev Pro and CMLL. Upon his return to New Japan in 2023, he attacked the IWGP Heavyweight Champion Sonata and challenged him to a match. A couple days before this match, Tsuji would then join the LIJ stable. Unfortunately, Tsuji did end up falling short of winning the title. After this, Tsuji went on to compete in the G1 and have a feud with Yuya Uemura. The feud ended up culminating in a hair versus hair match with Tsuji coming out on top. Tsuji would also go on to win the 2024 New Japan Cup, which got him an IWGP World Heavyweight title shot against LIJ leader Naito. Again, however, Tsuji came up short. Tsuji won his first and only title just a month ago while teaming with LIJ members Bushi and Takahashi, where they won the Never Openweight 6-man titles. Sadly, they lost them a week later. When it comes to other accomplishments, Tsuji has also gotten recognized by ESPN as a top wrestler under 30 in 2023. Tsuji has shown how great of a wrestler he is through his matches with Will Ospreay, Hiroki Goto, and others. Now we can continue to see just how good of a wrestler he is through the G1 Climax. Next up, we have Yuya Uemura, who is making his G1 Climax debut. Uemura's path is actually very similar to Yota Tsuji's, as they both signed and debuted for New Japan around the same time. Just for a refresher, this would be in 2018. Over the next 3 years, Uemura would wrestle quite a bit for New Japan. However, he didn't exactly win that many matches. In 2022, Uemura would go on an excursion to the United States, where he wrestled for a multitude of promotions, but spent most of his time in Impact Wrestling. While in Impact, some of his biggest moments include being a part of Team Dreamer, defeating Team Bully, and his brief tag team run with Joe Hendry. With Hendry, they went by the team name Joya, and they only lost one match together. Uemura's run with Impact would end after he pulled the briefcase with the pink slip in Impact's Feast or Fired match. In October 2023, Uemura would return to New Japan, teaming with Taichi and Doiki, as he became the newest member of Just 5 Guys. If you're wondering how that math works out, it's because Kane Maru left a few months prior. Uemura would then go on to continue working with Just 5 Guys and would have that feud with Yota Tsuji where he lost his hair. In April, however, he did win the King of Pro Wrestling Championship from the Great Okan. If you did see my other preview video though, you would know that he lost that title right back to Okan shortly after. Now, he'll be trying to make a whole new statement in this year's G1 tournament. Now we have Jeff Cobb. Cobb is the current New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Champion and will be making his 6th consecutive G1 appearance. Cobb was originally an amateur wrestler and he made the 2004 Summer Olympics representing Guam. Cobb first started his career in different wrestling promotions throughout Hawaii and California, where he won top titles all around. Then in 2015, he signed with the upstart cinematic promotion Lucha Underground. He debuted in 2016 and was known as the Monster Matanza Cueto and was presented as the brother of Booker, Dario Cueto. Cobb won the Lucha Underground title in his first match and was undefeated until he lost it to Rey Mysterio. In Lucha Underground, the story was that his character would kill people until his character was eventually, well, killed off, when his heart was ripped out by Black Lotus using the gift of the God's Gauntlet. And man, I'm gonna be honest, I miss Lucha Underground. Anyway, Cobb would go on to wrestle for PWG, Progress, Ring of Honor, and more. Most notably, in Ring of Honor, he won the ROH TV title from future WWE star Damian Priest. Cobb debuted for New Japan in 2017, having a brief tag run with Michael Elgin. In 2019, he would defeat Will Ospreay for the Never Openweight title in a winner-takes-all match. In 2020, Cobb ended up joining the United Empire as he started teaming with Great Okan. Cobb and Okan went on to win the IWGP tag titles twice, beating Bishamon and Bullet Club. When it comes to tournament success, Cobb holds the record for most consecutive victories in a G1, as he won 8 in a row in 2021. Most recently, in 2024, Cobb won the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television title, winning it from Zack Sabre Jr. It seems Cobb always performs well in the G1s, but can never make it past the group stage. Guess we'll have to see if this is his year. Next up, we have Henare, who will be participating in his 3rd consecutive G1. Sadly for him, he hasn't exactly had the most success, as he only has 3 wins total in his 3 appearances. Henare signed with New Japan in 2016 and debuted for them a year later. Henare didn't have too much success over the next few years, as he entered the 2016 World Tag League, suffered a huge Achilles injury, and then entered the 2017 World Tag League. Over the next years, Henare continued to wrestle for New Japan, as he did start to receive praise from the higher-ups. We fast forward to 2021, where he joined Will Ospreay's United Empire stable. A little bit later, Henare had to sadly undergo neck surgery after a huge neck injury. He would return and would go on to compete in different tournaments, competing for different titles, but always coming up short. At last year's G1, he did debut a new look and a new sort of attitude. Some of Henare's best work comes in his matches against Shingo Takagi. Just recently, Henare won his first ever New Japan title from Takagi, this being the Never Openweight title. Now with this new title of his, it'll be interesting to see how he does in his 3rd G1. Now we have David Finlay. The son of former WWE star Fit Finlay will be making his 3rd consecutive G1 appearance after making the quarterfinals in last year's tournament. Finlay made his wrestling debut in 2012, wrestling for various promotions in Europe, until 2015, where he signed with New Japan. After a year of competing in Japan, Finlay went on to win the Never Openweight 6-man titles from Bullet Club alongside Ricochet and Satoshi Kojima. In August of 2016, Finlay started teaming up with Juice Robinson as the team FinJuice. In 2019, FinJuice would go on to win the World Tag League. Following this, FinJuice would receive their first tag titles by defeating the Gorillas of Destiny for the IWGP Heavyweight titles. FinJuice would then continue to team together as they went on to compete in both Ring of Honor and Impact, where they had a 2-month run with the Impact World titles. Eventually, FinJuice would break up after Juice Robinson joined Bullet Club and went over to AEW. Meanwhile, Finlay would proceed to compete in singles competition. Then, in 2023, everything changed. At Battle in the Valley, Jay White would lose a loser leaves New Japan match against Eddie Kingston. After the match, Finlay then attacked Jay White, debuting a new persona. Weeks later, Finlay was introduced by Gato as the newest member and newest leader of Bullet Club. Leading Bullet Club, Finlay kicked out El Phantasmo and brought in members Clark Connors, Dan Maloney, Gabe Kidd, and Alex Coughlin. They were now known as Bullet Club War Dogs and had a whole new attitude. Finlay would go on to win the Never Openweight title and the IWGP Global Heavyweight title, which he currently holds. It'll be difficult to top his last year performance, but it'll be fun to see him try. Next up, we have Ren Narita, who will be taking part in his second consecutive G1 Climax, and has a very similar story to a lot of the young guys in this G1. He debuted for New Japan in 2017 and was trained as a young lion. Narita wrestled with New Japan for 2 years until he went on to do an excursion in the United States in 2019. Narita would wrestle both in New Japan and on New Japan Strong, as he would compete in various different tournaments and challenging for various titles. Narita would return from excursion in 2022, where he participated in the tournament to decide the inaugural New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Champion. After a lot of upset victories, Narita made the finals, but unfortunately lost to Zack Sabre Jr. Narita ended up winning his first title in New Japan while teaming with El Desperado and Minoru Suzuki, winning the Never Openweight 6-man titles, which were held by House of Torture. After losing the titles and failing to win that year's G1, Narita entered the World Tag League with Shota Umino. At the end of the tournament, Narita attacked Umino and joined House of Torture in the process. Since then, Narita has had a whole change in attitude and has continued to team with House of Torture. It should be interesting to see how this new persona and change in attitude impacts his venture in the G1. Next up, we have a wrestler making his G1 debut in Konosuke Takeshita. If you are a North American wrestling fan, then you probably already know who this guy is. But anyway, Takeshita began his wrestling training in 2011 and debuted for DDT Wrestling in 2012. After over a decade in DDT Wrestling, Takeshita has become one of their top stars of all time and still wrestles there today. All time, Takeshita has won the KOD tag titles 4 times, the KOD Openweight title 5 times, the KOD 6-man titles 5 times, and the Iron Man Heavy Metal Weight title 4 times. Throughout this, he also led 2 stables known as All Out and the 37 Kamina. Takeshita would make his AEW debut in 2021 at the House Always Wins event and would then wrestle a couple matches on AEW Dark. Takeshita would continue to wrestle for AEW on shows like Dynamite and Rampage, with his matches getting heavy praise from critics. Takeshita would eventually sign with AEW and he would join the Don Callis family. He joined the family at Double or Nothing 2023 after attacking Kenny Omega during Omega's match. Takeshita would go on to beat Omega on 2 separate occasions, trying to establish himself as a top star. He's gone on to continue to put on good matches, but has yet to win any AEW gold. Maybe he can finally win a huge accomplishment here in the G1. And finally, making his G1 debut, we have Oleg Boltin. Representing Kazakhstan, Boltin won a gold medal at the 2021 Asian Championships as a freestyle wrestler. In 2022 is when he retired from amateur wrestling and signed with New Japan. According to Cage Match, Boltin has wrestled a total of 123 matches, and 3 of those matches include the qualifying tournament that he had to participate in to make it to this stage. In this qualifying tournament, he beat veterans including Taichi, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Toru Yano. In April, Boltin actually teamed up with Yano and Tanahashi to compete in a tournament to crown the Never Openweight 6-man titles as they were vacant. Boltin's team went on to win the tournament, and this gave Boltin his first title in New Japan. The trio would end up losing the titles, but would win them back a week later. Boltin is definitely the least experienced wrestler in this G1 when it comes to matches, but he has already made an impact in New Japan under such a short period of time. Boltin looks to continue this impact in the G1, as he might be one of the most interesting participants to watch. Thank you all for watching this video, and please let me know how I can make these types of videos better, stronger, all of that. And if you did enjoy, like, share, subscribe. Thank you again. Goodbye.